So put yourself in the place of those initial mech warriors during the clan invasion in the inner sphere. Getting a little bit of that RPG flavor for a moment. Target acquired. Your targeting computer is cycling back and forth, trying to identify this mech. Is it a marauder or is it a catapult? It doesn't know. It's a mad cat. Jumping into the clan tech here, counterbalancing some of the recent clan videos that I've been pushing up there, taking advantage of the clan invasion box set and some of the new clan mechs that are being released to plastic that are out there in the wild. I mean, truly the invasion is on. So for those of you representing the inner sphere, how can we begin to counter the clans? How can we utilize the tech that we have essentially on the tabletop? If we break down the meta and strip it, what are some of the things that we can do to counter the advantages of the clans? That's what we're going to explore in this vlog, and we're going to continue to push out some clan reviews looking at the various mechs, both ones that I believe will always have a place in your collection. And of course, I can't help myself, some of the Fritz favorites, some of those clan mechs that I really enjoy playing for a variety of reasons. Some of them very deadly, and others, well, you could say the battle value might be better spent, but they've got some interesting quirks that you don't see in other mechs, and you definitely don't see in the inner sphere. So I try to play those as often as I can. So the first thing with the clans, they hit really hard. Generally speaking, in each weight class, light, medium, heavy, and assault, they will be faster. They will have equal armor or less armor exploits. Their weapons will hit you harder, at greater range, and with less heat. But the counter to that is the battle value. Now, this is if you're playing with a battle value system. And a lot of Battletech games might have equal battle value, or if they don't have equal battle value, you assign it based on the mission. So if it's an attacker versus defender, as an attacker, I'm going to have more battle value because the idea is I'm going to have to move across the hex maps to get you, and you're going to be in a fortified position. So I need not only battle value to engage your mechs, but also deal with those fortifications. Ultimately, even when BV is not equal, and this could be C-bills too, or perhaps tonnage, but really for the clans, I find that battle value is the best way to balance it out. The battle value is the first weakness of the clans. The tech is very expensive. You are going to outnumber them. You're going to outnumber the clans. And this is just straight up mech versus mech. If we play with combined arms, if you have access to combined arms with the inner sphere, in terms of tanks and vehicles and other aspects, you're going to flood the table with even more stuff, bringing that firepower. So from that perspective, even when you lose initiative, sticking with proper placement means you're going to get something behind the clans. You're going to be able to gang up 3 or 4 on one. That initial advantage of them destroying you and bringing that superior weapon. I mean, they're going to down a mech or two a turn. They're going to blow up your vehicles like crazy. You can't sit back and just kind of go unit by unit, or you can't be kind of conservative. I don't mean be reckless. Don't be Fritz reckless and get up there. But you must commit. You must be aggressive. You must be confrontational. You must be direct with the clans. Use your superior numbers. You're going to be taking losses very fast, but use those superior numbers to overwhelm the clans. And this is just based on battle value alone, because most of the time in most missions, you're going to outnumber the clans. Second, clan honor. Now, much like Total Warfare, there are suggestions to play Battletech. There are lots of additional rules. You can make it as simple and streamlined as possible, or you can layer on multiple rules. There is no right or wrong way. And the clans are kind of balanced out by this idea of honor, where you issue a challenge at a certain mech, and you will only engage that mech until it is destroyed, or if the inner sphere mech warrior breaks that challenge or breaks that honor. Now, this is just a suggestion. Of course, the narrative, as the invasion pushed in and the inner sphere started uniting and actually fighting back and bringing various things online and started to recover tech, you kind of saw the clans throw a lot of that just by the wayside, saying, the inner sphere is just too far gone, too Desgara, and we're just going to blast everything. So certainly it would not be inappropriate in a time period playing without clan honor, but that is an important part of the narrative, and that is an important assumption of the game. One could also counter force withdrawal for the inner sphere. But even with that, there are certain missions where things are so dire, the inner sphere mechs and mech warriors, they are never going to withdraw. A tank that gets immobilized, you can play with the abandonment rules, but they're never going to abandon it. So that's kind of a midway. You might play with it, you might not. I suggest you do. It's great fun. It can also get you into a lot of trouble. The time that I fired without thinking on a spider, and that spider then took the challenge and just basically ran away. And the whole game, I'm chasing it down. Nothing else I could do. So it adds an interesting spice, an interesting element to the game from my perspective. Now let's talk about the tech, the weaknesses of the tech. Most clan mechs, I want to say 90%, if we really break down the clan mechs, clans like to shoot as opposed to engaging in physical attacks. There are some clan mechs that have hands, but it's kind of mirrored the opposite of the inner sphere. Most inner sphere mechs will have hands, or at least one arm with a hand. Most clan mechs will not. They mount the weapons in there because physical combat is kind of against clan honor, and the tech of the clans mounts most of these weapons. ER lasers, ER PPCs, pulse lasers, very, very powerful weapons in the arms. Now, if we go back to your mech training 101, when you were piloting that chameleon and facing things out on the tabletop, the weakest part of any mech across any weight class, outside of the head, I mean, certainly the head because you can't mount armor on there, but it's a 1 in 12 or a 1 in 6 chance of hitting it, depending on the attack matrix. The arms are the weakest part of the mechs, whether it's a light, a medium, a heavy, or an assault. And if you can focus fire, what I mean by focus fire, just understanding the math hammer of Battletech, if I am facing your mech head on and I fire, targeting computers, putting called shots or other specific points, just generally speaking, I'm moving and you're moving, I can hit your left side, your right side, or your center. Left arm, left leg, left torso, right torso, center torso, head. If I'm on your left side, I'm going to focus my attacks on that. I have a greater chance of hitting that arm on that side or on the right side. So you can, as you damage the clan mechs, really target those arms. And you should try to target those arms. You blow off an arm, that's out. I mean, yesterday I posted up to my channel under the Battletech playlist. We were exploring the Nova, one of my favorite clan mechs, mounting all of those lasers in those arms. You lose an arm, you're in trouble. Your firepower just got cut in half. And a lot of the clan mechs, you lose that arm, you're in a lot of trouble. So that is a weakness that is up to you to exploit, where in the inner sphere, look at the Battlemaster. Yeah, you've got the primary weapon in that arm. You've got a PPC. Or you might have something like the Archer, where you have lasers in the arms. Or the Marauder. Marauder's a great example. You've got those lasers. You've got those PPCs in the arms, but you still have that autocannon. Other variants have other aspects throughout it. A lot of inner sphere mechs. The Assault Mech, the Awesome. Literally an awesome mech. Got the PPC in the arm. That arm gets blown off. You've still got a left torso and a right torso PPC. And of course, the small laser, which, hey, if you're in range, you're going to take that shot. Nothing says Battletech than scoring a Snake Eyes center torso crit, confirmed crit, roll for crit, 3 crits, engine gyro with a small laser. I saw it happen in that. Thankfully, that wasn't to me, because if it was, that would probably traumatize me for Battletech forever. But that's probably the closest that I've ever seen. And I'm not going to name any names because you might be listening to this vlog. But you have to admit that was pretty epic. And that was the closest that, literally at the gaming club, time stopped. And that was the closest I ever saw a grown man really start to cry, just like, what the heck happened? Crazy stuff happens in Battletech anytime you roll those dice. But that's another exploit of the clans. Try to target, try to focus on those arms. So make use of that battle value. If you have a battle value buy-in before the game, we're playing it at 8K battle value. That's a lot of toys for the inner sphere. Combined arms, that's a lot more toys. Maximize it. Then when you're on the table, be aggressive, be fast, be agile, move up there, Commit, commit, commit. Outnumber the clans. Get that side armor. Get that rear armor. Push it, push it. Do not hang back. It will tear you up at range. And then finally understanding the structural weaknesses. Target those arms. Try your best to remove those arms.